Hello everyone, this is Bob for Bob and Doos, and welcome to day one of our epic trip to Wyoming and Idaho. So our first stop of the day is the Rib and Chop House in Cheyenne, Wyoming. We're both extremely tired and hungry from our long 8-hour drive, so we saw this place because it looked pretty good and had good reviews, but unfortunately it was just overpriced and mediocre. So after eating our meal at the Rib and Chop House, we still had enough time during the day to drive over an hour away to check out Mirror Lake at the Medicine Bow Peak Park. So during our 1-hour drive, I was quite worried because it kept raining off and on during our drive, and I was afraid that it would be raining while we arrived at the Mirror Lake, and we wouldn't be able to go walk around and check out the place. But luckily, by the time we arrived, it was quite clear, but we were still quite unprepared of how cold it was because from Missouri, it was really hot, but when we arrived in Wyoming in Mirror Lake, it was like it's winter. And that's something we were quite unprepared for because we're overly underdressed for the weather. So we just arrived here at the Mirror Lake, and what can I say except just can't beat these views, people. Nothing beats the combination of blue, clear lakes and snow-capped mountains. So me and my wife, we only spent about maybe 15 or 20 minutes here at Mirror Lake. My original plan was to hike the Medicine Bow Peak, but when I checked the All Trails map, it said there's still some snow up there and it's still wet and slippery, so I decided to skip that instead. And me and my wife were both quite freezing here because we're not expecting it to be so cold. So we try to get as much as we can done here at the lake, and we headed off to our hotel afterwards. So this is day 2 of our trip here in Wyoming. Unfortunately, we had to make a quick change of plans because on our way to the Mirror Lake yesterday, my check engine light came on suddenly. So I had to quickly search for the nearest Mazda dealership. And unfortunately, it was like almost 4 hours away from Wyoming. So I had to drive all the way to Idaho in the morning at like 4 o'clock in the morning to get it checked out. On our way to the dealership, we were able to pass through the town of Jackson Hole, and we were able to also drive a little bit of the Grand Teton National Park, which we checked out later on during the day after we went to the dealership. Morning, Paul.
How's the experience so far? We're here in Grand Teton already.
Yeah.
What would you like to share?
We drove all the way from here to Missouri yesterday. We woke up at I think we left our apartment at 4, right?
Yeah.
drove 12 and you drove 1. So
Okay, you really have to emphasize that one. Okay.
yeah, that's what you call teamwork. Because we're a team. That's what you call teamwork.
So it's basically our second day today.
Yeah, our plans are kind of derailed because the other day when we were driving to Medicine Bow Forest to check out the Mirror Lake, noticed that our check engine light was on. So
Yeah, so this one. There you go, that light there. So we're heading to Idaho Falls to have this car checked.
yeah, because there's no Mazda dealerships in Wyoming.
Yeah. You only have option to go to Idaho or
I mean that's
Colorado.
Yeah, that's going to Fort Collins, Colorado would be the opposite direction. It's 4 hours away. But we're staying in Idaho Falls for our whole trip anyway, so
Yeah.
luckily there happened to be a Mazda dealership there that's open today.
So hopefully we'll finish early there and it's not really a serious problem with our engine.
Hopefully it's just they tell us something that's like you just have to reset the computer on the dashboard or something.
Yeah, we didn't have much time to stop by in a proper breakfast place because we have a 9:30 appointment for the dealership service. So we just had some coffee in the Grand Teton. The town was lovely, but it's kind of cold here.
That's like 40 degrees.
We're underdressed. We were super underdressed, especially yesterday in the Mirror Lake. We're surprised because we're wearing like summer outfits.
It's cold in the morning, but after like lunchtime, the temperature increases to like 70.
Yeah.
So we're fine.
Hopefully today it's gonna be a little bit warmer than yesterday.
We're just hoping that we don't have to stay too long in the car shop.
Yeah. Because we already have our schedules supposedly for how many days. But I think we just have to change these plans. It depends on
We're supposed to
what time
spend
we're
the
gonna
day
finish.
today exploring Grand Teton.
Yeah. Look at this beautiful view. Yeah. We passed by the Grand Teton already, but we can watch animals there, wildlife and everything. But we didn't have enough energy. We didn't have coffee at that time. So
We didn't have any time anyway.
yeah, and we didn't have time to stop over.
We had to wake up at 3:30 and leave at 4 to drive like almost 5 hours to Idaho Falls.
Yeah, I was sleeping most of the way.
And I don't know how I'm awake. Because we didn't check into our hotel until like past 10 and we didn't go to sleep until like 11. We had to wake up at 3:30.
Yeah. So wish us luck. We'll try to finish our itinerary still. Hopefully, don't have to stay so long in the service center. We'll see you in a bit. We'll finish our coffee.
Can't beat these views, people.
Here in Mazda in Idaho. Waiting for our car.
Head north on US 20 Business toward Pop.
Doing what? Okay. It's fine with me. We have a lot of changes in our itinerary. That's fine. I'll go through it.
I was worried because I thought we were staying this time.
Mm.
Then we have to drive 2 hours to Twin Falls to go see the bridge and waterfalls and do the kayaking.
Yeah. We'll see what will happen today after our car is checked in the service center. So far, we have a good experience here. Let's see. Sweeties here. Got the egg Benedict. Robert got the, what did you get, hon?
Chicken fried steak.
Yeah. Come back here next time.
You know what I'm saying?
Coming back to Teton.